Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and as you can see, we're working on a disc brake conversion today from Inline tube. And of course, we went out to Sheffield last night and did a little trick-or-treating. Well, I didn't. I handed out candy. This one might have fell into my pocket, so I got a treat for today. Anyway, this is a little bit of a challenge, so I went ahead and did one without video recording it. The first thing you got to do is get your spring compressed, and I've got my spring compression down there, tool down there, and compress the spring and then put that in there. And then of course you're going to put this doohickey in there, spindle, and then you're going to put the pieces to hold the disc brake assembly on and the backing plate. And don't forget your steering C-arm there. It looks like a C. So I just kind of wanted to show you an overall of this. And of course, we still got the disc brake, or the disc, to put on there. I'll show you how that goes. So got that going on. And then on the back, I mean, putting these trailing arms on, it's a bitch. I mean, they don't want to go. So, but they're on. So we got the trailing arms on. And, of course, when you put them on, you gotta, I don't know how to explain it. You gotta zig and you gotta zag. You gotta get everything all straightened out. But, I don't know. I'm a loss for words today. But anyway, we're going to move over to this side and I will show you the spring compressed. You know, this is basically what we're starting with, okay? I've got the A-arms already assembled on there. I've got the spring ready to get compressed, and I'll show you how that goes. Hey, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and once again, hey, I'm just an idiot working out in the garage. You don't have to do what I do, but I try to make helpful videos and try to help you out along the way. Tried to make this video on Friday, but had quite a few interruptions in the garage on Friday. And I decided to take a few things back apart and put them back together for you on video here so you could see what's going on with this inline tube installation of a disc brake conversion. So once again, this is a 1966 Chevelle convertible, Malibu. We've got a 327 motor in it. By no means a, super high horsepower motor. It's going to be a totally stock car, but in order to have safer car, disc brakes are much safer. We're also switching to a dual master cylinder power brakes, make this car much easier to drive. So that's why we decided to go along with this inline conversion. In my opinion, what I've seen on these cars, it does not affect the value of these cars. It only increases the value because you're doing something to improve safety. Just my opinion. So, what do you got to do to put this in? Well, one of the first things you need to do is, you've got this spindle that comes in the kit, but you're going to reuse maybe these C brackets to connect up to the steering. And one of the things you need to do is drill these two holes out if you're using a stock 1966 drum brake bracket here. So I think it's a 5/8, and I've already drilled these out on the drill press, so they're gonna fit quite nicely. The other thing you're gonna need to do, obviously I've already got this installed, so you're gonna need a spring compressor of some type. The spring compressor I used is, and once again, I'm sorry I'm not showing you this, but didn't have time to videotape on Friday. But this spring compressor, I put some tape on it so I don't scratch up the springs. It's gonna fit right up through the middle here, okay? And you're gonna grab it and you're gonna compress the spring as much as you can. And then you're gonna basically put the spring in the pocket, and then you're gonna bring up the A-arm on the bottom and connect up the two bolts here. So, and then we'll put cotter keys in there afterwards. All the torques and whatnot are laid out in your manual here, so, or your instruction manual, so go ahead and read that. The other thing, I've seen some videos on this, and the guys tend to load this piece up with all the bracketry I'm going to show you in a second ahead of time, and then put this on. I find that kind of like it gets in the way. You know, I'd rather put the spring up there and have room to work around there, and then go ahead and put the bracketry on. Of course, I'm dealing with a frame, brand new frame. I don't have the whole car and the engine and everything else to deal with, so maybe it is easier to build up on the bench in a vise if you're dealing with a car that's already put together and you're doing the disc brake conversion. But for me, I thought it was much easier to do this, you know, putting this on first, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this bracketry on. So this bracket's gonna fit on first, and then you're gonna put your dust cover over, all right? So you can go ahead and put this hole in here, all right? So we're gonna put the top bolt in, and sure, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to show you how to do this, because I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera. But we're gonna go ahead and put that bolt in. Like I said, I'm an idiot struggling along here. All right, we'll get that started. We'll put that on, and then you're gonna put your C-arm. That's gonna go on the back with the steering towards the front. Okay, and you do have a long and a short bolt, because this bracketry here is a little thicker on the back side than it is this side. So let me get that all snapped together and I'll show you. All right, so I've got this all together. I put a little grease on the shaft already, and I like these kits because they already install the race for the bearing. I've put the bearing in, I've put the seal on, so we're all set there. But I'm gonna show you what I mean in a second. So we're just gonna put this on before I'll line that up. Like I said, I've already put the seal on there. So we've got that all put on. And then what I mean about they already install the race. So when you buy bearings, they come with the, you know, you've got the race, and this is already installed here. So that's good, because that would be kind of tough to push in anyway. So then you're gonna put the, of course, put the bearing on. Oh, forgot. Almost forgot. I've got grease on here, but I've got to pack this bearing with bearing grease first. So let me go through that first. Hang on. Boy, it's hard to pack the grease and keep your fingers somewhat so I can still hit the camera. But real quickly went through and packed this with grease. And there's thousands of videos out there to show you how to do that. But we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to put a got a retaining washer here that we're going to put on, and this is keyed, so it can only go on one way. It's slotted on this shaft here, and then we're going to have of course, a nut to put on here, and we're gonna tighten that sucker up, and we'll make sure that the bearing and everything is seated and everything still spins smoothly. So once again, all this is in the instructions. I'm just kind of showing you how I do it. So I'm gonna get a wrench out. I'm gonna tighten that down until it doesn't spin anymore. And then I'm gonna back it off a little bit so it does spin. And then of course, you got your cotter key that you're gonna put through there to lock everything in place. And then you got a dust shield that I'll put some more grease into too. So that's how we'll get that done. All right. Let me get my hands a little washed off here and keep getting this put together, and I'll come back. All right, jump ahead a few steps here. You can see that I've got my cap on here. I've got this all nicely packed with grease. I've got my cotter key in, and then you go ahead and put your disc brake on, and it comes fully assembled. you actually have to take the bolts out, and there's a little plastic piece that keeps everything separated and in the right place. That's a nice job by Inline Tube. That's nice. But you simply slide the disc brake assembly, the actual disc right on here, and then you've got the top bolt and bottom bolt with Allen key. Which number is that? It's a 3/8 Allen. That's pretty typical on what you see on cars. So, of course, the newer cars, you got some kind of Torx wrench on there. But anyway, so there you go. Nice looking unit assembled on here. Everything spins okay. It's going to be a while before we get the rest of the assembly done with all the tubes and hoses and everything, because we need a complete body to mount the power booster on. So we'll come back to this another day and finish it out and bleed it out and all that good stuff. But for now, this is just a video by this idiot right here to show you how to put it on. I'll take some pictures of the other side. But hey, we're getting closer to having a rolling chassis here, so that makes me pretty happy. We can roll this thing around and get the engine in pretty quick. So there you go. Our next step is we're going to put the engine in. I don't have the transmission, but we have a 3-speed transmission laying outside that I can temporarily mount this thing up and set the engine down in there. And then we can go ahead and start the process of breaking the motor in while it's on the chassis and we don't have a body and all that good stuff. That went really well on the LS6 motor. We did run into problems with that motor, and it was just super easy to work on while it was sitting here on the chassis. So yeah, that's what our next step is. All right. So Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, Inline Tube, pretty decent system. There you go. See ya.